January 3rd, 2024. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. First off, let me just say Happy New Year to everyone. I would like to welcome our newest member, Elizabeth Lake. She is joining us for the first time tonight, so welcome, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you
Happy to
for
be here.
volunteering. Our first order of business is 183 Ridge Road. Is Mr. Volk, you're Mr. Vokel?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, Happy New Year to everyone here, too. And
New Year.
thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and members of the commission for understanding why I had to miss the last meeting due to a death in my family. But, thank you for that. And I guess the last meeting we were at, you guys had suggested possibly using the site survey from the septic system that was put in my property before I bought it. And I got that from the Board of Health, and I guess it was submitted, and I guess you guys deemed that it didn't meet the requirements.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not comprehensive
Right.
Enough.
And in the meantime, I've talked to Mike a little bit, and I guess he said there might be some other alternative that would help maybe relieve some of the burden of me trying to get a site. So I don't know. Mike wants to.
Yeah, we had discussed in a different, sorry, there's a bit of a feedback here. So we discussed a different possibility of permitting this through an RDA, which would involve taking the rock up where it is here on the resource area and bringing it back behind the fence line. I'm not sure if that's something Mr. Vokel would be interested in doing.
Well, I mean, you mean right up in behind, right up in behind the fence line, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I guess I would definitely be open to that, to move it up, if that's what, you deem necessary.
So are you talking, Mike, about moving it to the inside of the fence?
To the pre-disturbed lawn area.
To the pre-disturbed lot area?
Yeah.
Yeah, on this side of the fence, not on.
Yeah, on the side closest to the home, not the resource area.
Not on this side of it. He's talking, I think, about in
my
here.
inside my yard.
Onto your lawn area, right?
That or if the lawn area is right in front of the fence, but the stone is located on the salt marsh itself in the resource area.
I mean, there's no way we could just move it right behind the fence? I mean, because that's where the erosion is coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Coming
know.
from this way, and I'm just gonna ruin my lawn by putting those rocks on the other side of the fence. And I don't have much of a lawn to start with for backyard. And
So I guess we don't know exactly where the salt marsh is, because we don't have a delineation here.
There's no flagged salt marsh
No
flags out
flags.
there, but there is a pretty evident gradient that goes from the resource area up and then into the lawn area behind this white picket fence.
What do you think about between where the revetment is now and the fence? How wide is that? Is there a possibility that that may be out of the resource area?
I'm not too certain on that one. It's been a month or so since I've been out there.
it's probably
Probably more.
2 to 3 feet
2 to 3 feet.
there. Still, I've lost 3 to 4 feet of land that was there
Yeah.
due to the wave action from the river.
Well, I know that we're trying to work around you having to spend the money for a fully engineered
Right.
site plan.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of a lot of a financial burden at this point, and coming on the heels of Christmas, coming on the heels of taxes due on February 1st, which they just went up, but pretty good. But it would be a burden, obviously.
So short of not doing that and filing an NOI to permit this, yeah, the the two options that I see would be either remove it entirely or move it back far enough that it is potentially out of the resource area and could be permitted with an RDA, which would not require a site plan. Now, have you considered having the wetland edge there delineated?
Well, what would that entail?
That would entail hiring a wetland scientist to just come in and flag exactly where the line is between the marsh and your upland,
So that's,
which is, I don't really know what a lot of these things cost specifically, but it's
Yeah.
not as expensive
as a engineer's
as an engineered site plan.
site plan. And I could certainly explore that option.
Yeah, we have a list of wetland scientists that work in the
Yeah,
area.
I don't know what the costs are, but I could look into that.
Because all they would have to do would be to, flag the frontage and identify where the wetland ends.
I guess I'm confused about, like, when you say wetland ends, I mean, does that mean like normal tide, high tide? I guess.
Mean high tide is the measure? Is that
Yeah, that is.
mean high tide?
Mean high.
Mean high tide would be what they work off
Off of mean high tide.
Yeah.
Because on a very, very high tide, it comes up.
Right, well, in a high
Right.
tide,
Yeah.
all bets are off.
All bets
but-
are off, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
That's,
know
that's why I ended up doing what I did, because it's been happening. I was afraid going into the winter season, because it usually happens during bad
Right,
storms.
during
the-
nor'easters and,
Right, a lot of the
Yeah,
erosion
big
takes-
tides.
Takes place.
does anyone else have any creative thoughts
Other than what you suggested.
other than what I just,
No, because you'll get a better idea of if you can keep those rocks outside of your fence and not on your property, if you delineate it. That's how you're gonna know.
All right.
yeah, no, that is the fact. And,
But-
worst possible case, you could just take the rocks away,
Okay.
okay? Because right now you have this structure which is not permitted, and it's got to get permitted at some point. I
Right.
know you have mentioned, down the road wanting to maybe sell the property,
Well, yeah. Well,
and
probably-
that's going to have to,
Yeah,
that's going to come to light at that time.
at that time, one way or the other. right?
One way or the other.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
my recommendation would be get our list of wetland scientists, call a couple of them, see what the cost for that is,
Just a delineation.
and see if you're willing to pay that cost. And if you do get a delineation, then we could treat it as a request for determination of applicability,
Mm-hmm,
which is a lower bar than a
Right.
notice of intent.
right. Okay. Well, I guess it sounds like.
I don't really have any other brilliant notions.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear, those stones, those rocks are gonna have to move.
They're gonna have to move.
And now the question is, can they be moved on this side of the fence?
Right.
Or do they have to be thrown over the fence to the
Fence
other
and
side?
in his-
I mean,
in
that's,
his lawn
that's
area.
really not a good option. I mean,
Yeah, and
for
so,
me personally, because I have no back.
is there, as we look at the fence, is there lawn on this side of the fence, or is it all undeveloped?
I mean, lawn's
No, no,
back.
as I'm looking at the fence, if I'm standing looking at the fence.
Yep.
Is there lawn on this side of the fence? or
There's
is it-
no, there's a little bit of, I mean, it's not lawn, it's all what you see is
Scrub.
Okay, so it's not.
grass that's growing and,
It's just wild grasses.
It's wild grass.
I was standing in the
But there's
resource
lo-
area when I took that picture.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. I mean, the other side, the lawn is right on the other side of the fence.
So, best case scenario is you're gonna get a delineation on, everyone's this side of the fence.
Fence.
And you just be able to toss
And
the
maybe
rocks
there's
up.
room
And
to,
there's room, hopefully
Yeah.
with that delineation, there's room.
correct, yeah.
Stay within, on this side,
On this
Yeah.
side of the fence, yeah.
The marsh side of
on the my side. Yeah, my side, yes.
it. Okay.
All right, I guess, thank you. I guess that's, seems,
Let's explore that.
let's explore
and-
that.
And then we'll go from there.
I'll get together with Mike.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, in the office, they can give you the sheet of wetland scientists, or, I mean, you can choose anyone you want, but we do have
Sure.
some that we,
Sure.
yeah, hand out.
And Mark, the sheet's actually in our form bin, so you can just go up and grab one on your way out.
On the way out?
Yeah, but if you can't find it, shoot me an email or send me a call tomorrow.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your
Okay.
understanding.
Yeah, I mean, look at
consideration.
all your options, and look at all your options and decide what's the best way forward.
Yeah. I know, pulling all those rocks out, it wouldn't be great either, but,
No, moving them would
Well,
be great, but,
yeah, it's a lot of labor, but,
yeah,
all right, thank you.
thank you. Okay. Next, we have 32 Country Way. Is anyone here for that?
I can speak on that one. So, Dave Carlo, the local building inspector, brought this one to my attention. He had been going through the neighborhood and noticed somebody was working on a home without any permits. They were rebuilding this front porch, means of egress. So since it was a means of egress, he continued to allow them to finish the construction. Part of this construction was replacing 2 existing sonotubes with 2 4-foot-long sonotubes of 8-inch diameter. So it's essentially a 1-for-1 replacement. But yes, they did not have a permit through us or seek a de minimis activity beforehand.
So I mean, they had to rebuild the porch for egress. And they are,
It's the same footprint.
okay, and what was there holding it up before?
They 2 smaller sonotubes.
Just smaller
Yeah.
sonotubes, okay. I don't have a problem with that. Does anybody else see any issues there?
No.
I think we can just have this as a de minimis. So I move to vote that the replacement of sonotubes at 32 Country Way is a de minimis activity. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next up, 32 Carolyn Circle.
Now, it's already open, but now it's, we
Ah,
got the DEP number, do
We
we
have
have
a
to
D,
reread?
did we get the DEP number, Mike?
Yes, it is SE 423071.
71. So I need to open,
Yeah.
was it re-advertised?
It did appear on this agenda as a normal DEP number. Typically, as when we don't receive them, we put them on the agenda as 30, and then wait for the DEP to issue a number. So that's how we advertise it this way.
Right, I'm just
Oh,
thinking when we
glad.
opened this, we opened it as Marshfield bylaw only.
Right.
But they have subsequently included the wetland across the road, which is DEP.
Yes.
So they filed with the state. Did that need to be advertised as such?
I will check the legal ad and see if that got included.
Mike, this is Liz.
It was.
Hi.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, everybody. When you guys originally opened it, you opened it under the assumption that it was under the DEP filing, and then
And
during
we
that
didn't have a
meeting, we were
number
kind of
yet.
Unclear
Okay,
whether it was town bylaw only.
okay.
Perfect.
So I
Yeah.
believe we
Okay,
are,
So we're good.
we're good.
Sorry
Thank you,
about
Liz.
Yeah.
Thanks,
okay.
Liz.
No problem.
Okay, this is an open hearing, and Vice Chair O'Donnell is the hearing officer.
that. Okay, James, floor is yours.
Yep. For the record, James Garfield with Morse Engineering. Here representing the owners Matthew and Kristen Cataldo for this continued hearing for a notice of intent associated with a raise and rebuild of a single-family dwelling. I presented this project to the commission back on December 6th. and the commission gave us a few questions and comments during that hearing. As you mentioned, the commission asked us to add a bordering vegetated wetland across the street, which we've done at this time. We've also added the associated buffer zones to that bordering vegetated wetland, and a portion of our proposed work does lie within the 100-foot BVW setback. So we have revised this from a local bylaw only filing to state filing as well. We were asked to add plantings to the water quality swale, shown on the left side of the page there. We've done that. We've added 12 shrubs to that water quality swale. We were asked to add a detail of the water quality swale to the plan, which we've done at this time. We were asked to confirm with DPW that our closed drainage tie-in to the catch basin within Carolyn Circle was acceptable, which we've done at this time. It is acceptable per correspondence that we've had with them. We were asked to confirm where the drainage within Carolyn Circle ultimately discharges to, which it collects within the drain manhole across the street, directly across the street from this site, and then discharges through a pipe to the bordering vegetated wetland across the street. Beyond that, we've also slid the proposed house 4 feet further to the east, pulling it 4 feet further away from the on-site IVW. And we've also added a 3-foot wide by 2-foot deep crushed stone trench in the rear yard of this design, and that's essentially just to further decrease any runoff coming from this site. So we believe that we've addressed all the comments that arose at the previous hearing. Hopeful to receive the commission's approval here tonight, and with that, I'll pass it back to the commission for any further questions.
I think most of what we discussed has been addressed. Other commissioners have any comments?
Everything I had listed has been addressed.
Mike, do you have any comments on it?
All of my comments were addressed as well.
Okay. At one point, you had talked about some green waste or junk in that wetland area.
Yes, there are some old lawn clippings in the area of that isolated vegetated wetland. I believe that the planting plan would be a good option to help deter the use of that area for dumping of green waste. The commission could also add conservation markers if they feel that that would help deter the green waste as well.
Have you got a thought on how many markers you'd need there?
I believe two would suffice. One near kind of the driveway where you walk around the backyard. One towards the back, and then one towards the grading here.
So 3 has to be determined by the conservation administrator.
Yeah.
Sound acceptable? So make that one of the conditions,
Perfect.
and you can add those on and just get it revised.
Yeah, we can send in a revised plan.
Go ahead
as-
and close the hearing and
Yes.
everything, but you can do it within the required time.
Yep.
No further comments from commissioners?
What's the driveway being installed? Is that an asphalt driveway? What's the, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not
bituminous
seeing it.
concrete, so it'll be paved.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same as existing though, right?
It's actually smaller in size, but yes, the existing's paved as well.
And that's right here, correct? I'm looking at that right in front of the,
Yeah.
okay.
Are there any comments from the public? I hear none. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing and issue special conditions. Do I get a second?
Second.
Second's Craig. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay. We have two continuations, both of which were voted on for our previous meeting. 172 South River Street and 0 Main will both be heard on 1/17, our next meeting. That concludes the hearings for this evening. We have 3 requests for certificate of compliance. The first being 1 Atlantic Street. Are the Tedeschi's on to discuss this? Apparently not. I have questioned town council on this, but I have not had a response from him. According to the building commissioner, who had a conversation with Mr. Tedeschi, it may be between his lawyer and town council. So we will table that for tonight. So I moved to table 1 Atlantic Avenue's COC. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is 938 Summer Street. I'm noting that Grady Engineering was working on a site plan for us tonight, but we have not seen that, have we?
We have not received that yet.
Okay, so I move to table 938 Summer Street. May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, 162 Bay Avenue, which we are still waiting for floodplain violations to be dealt with. So I move to table 162 Bay Avenue. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that concludes our business for this evening. And
I'm here for 160 Bay Ave.
160 Bay Ave is not on the agenda. What, is that for a COC, or
Yeah,
did you file?
it's not me, I'm not the homeowner.
Okay.
Just
Do you know if we've received anything from them, Mike?
I can check my email really quick. Liz, if you're still on, do you recall any submissions from 160 Bay Ave?
No, I do not.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, we have not been requested to issue a COC on that yet.
So I should tell the homeowner,
You should tell the homeowner to contact the office, or I don't know who's taking the lead on this. They need to file to obtain that COC.
it hasn't been filed.
It has not, but they have not asked us to review that yet.
I guess I can go home.
Yes. We all can, actually. I move to close the Conservation Commission hearing for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.